I think it's one of the most viable maps for that weapon. He can do some fantastic work through the smoke with it. But here we go then. That's slower play from VP. They're going to be working the pick game and seeing what's available for them.
They're going to be doing with a standard split at the moment. One's going to be towards Ivy, two going to be towards mid at the moment, and two towards the B halls. Just sitting up and up, or waiting to see if anybody from Cloud9 will get aggressive. But at this point, you should expect Cloud9 to just play really safe here. There's no reason to get aggressive. I mean, you don't have anything to work with. You can't drop a single round here.
Well, we can see Freakazoid actually pushing into the main entrance now. If he can hold that position, it's almost a one-and-done position. If the terrorists come and face him at the same time, he's going to do well to get more than one frag there.
Let's see if he can make that happen. It's still going to be into round 21, and Virtus.Pro is going to be on that map point here. On map number 1, at a best-of-3 series between Virtus.Pro and Cloud9. Here at your CEVO MLG Season 7 LAN Finals. And Virtus.Pro taking that early lead. Snax is going to go down, so Freakazoid gets the first one. Can he trade out another frag? No, he gets quickly traded out by Bialy. So the one and done from Henry is completely true there. Bialy's actually able to get another one. That's going to make it a 4-on-2 now, as we just lose Sean Garris. So Shroud's going to try and work up. Skadoodle's right there in the smoke, hits the shot through the smoke on the Taz. Bomb is going to be down, timer is on them. It's going to be Skadoodle, 1 versus 3. Players are very low. He can't find the head. He's looking in the wrong direction, and Pasha will shut it down. Virtus.Pro takes map number 1. 16-5, and Virtus is looking very, very good there. Their CT side was absolutely on point. I
think it was more that Cloud9 were lacking in tactical prowess that game. You saw that last round. That's how you execute on train. You work the picks at the start of the round. You try and ascertain what the CTs are doing, and at that point you do a full-on execute. They got the bomb down before any real frags were exchanged. The only real bit of difficulty they had was Freakazoid pushing into the main entrance there. But as I said, that was a kind of one-and-done position. Unless you have some sort of backup with you, it's difficult to turn that into a multi-frag sort of area. But VP can't take anything away from him.
Not at all.
Really impressive, the AWP from Neo. Really pretty standard stuff, but he's hitting all of his shots, not missing much. And it wasn't a very exciting series. I felt like Cloud9 didn't turn up tactically.
It's something that we've been having a problem with, or Cloud9 has been having a problem with since this tournament started on Friday. I mean, we've been seeing them struggle, and I'm really hoping that they were going to be able to bring that back there. But as soon as the side switch happened, it just kind of seems like Cloud9 might have been checked out of that a little bit too much after what happened to them when they were on T-side. And Virtus.Pro just kind of got in their heads a little bit. That's at least what it seemed like. They could just never get over that slump.
So as I said before, the 2 rounds they won was just when Freakazoid went absolutely ham. 4 frags on the inside bomb site. The second round they won was when Shroud, again, pushing through smoke. He got 3 frags. There was never a moment where it came down to a really important clutch or anything like that. It was just guys going absolutely huge. The tactical effort from them wasn't there for me. I wasn't very impressed with their approach to that. They relied too heavily on the picks. They were trying to see what was going on, but where they had screwed their money over at the start of the game, they just didn't have enough utility to play with, unfortunately. But very good start from VP. Going into Cash now, they're going to be the favoured side after watching that kind of form. We've seen Cloud9 play this map against CLG so far, and they win the first half 13-2, and they found it very difficult to close on their CT side. So they need to kind of step it up now and work out what the problems were there, get the comms working, start working out how to approach this tactically. But yeah, I think we're going to throw it down to the analyst desk. So guys, could you break that apart from us?
Oh, Henry G's got that stare. He just glares into you. Thank you, gentlemen. VP's map, Train, obviously, and it certainly is their map. 16-5, no question, they dominated from the get-go. A few notes I made and then I gave up. You know, 4th round before they even got a kill for Cloud9, and they called the timeout. 9th round, good call on that, but then they just got decimated. That 10th round did not help them at all. Yeah, and as we set it up in the pregame, this is a Cloud9 map as well. This is a map they played. This is a map that actually they haven't had to play much in competition because other people have been straying away from it. It's the map that they closed out the series against Fnatic on in the semi-finals of the last tournament. Face it, DreamHack Valencia, whatever you want to call it. So it's not like they're a bad team on this map, but VP's very good on it. I also feel like, bearing in mind so little was done by Cloud9 on their T side, that's kind of a really bad sign for the series, because they had to have known in the back of their mind there's a chance this map could be here, because they know both teams like the map. Maybe it would be a 3rd map, whatever, but they had to have been preparing for it. So they really had nothing on the T side here. It wasn't even just that they weren't fragging, they also weren't fragging though. So as a result, there weren't even bombs going down. I mean, it was something like, I think in the first 8 rounds, the entire team had 8 kills total. So they were making no economic impact on VP. And VP were having an absolute field day on the CT side. Even once they started to string a few together themselves, Cloud9, when they were on their CT, it was far, far too late. They were never going to do a comeback. You could even kind of tell they were totally out of it. What's interesting is that I was talking to Hiko about this when we were watching the game. No tactical timeouts, no stops. You would see actually... No, they did call one, round 9, but it didn't work.
Round 9, yeah, okay.
It didn't
work.
work.
I mean, every time I would see them lose a round on their T side,
Sean wasn't talking. There wasn't. They just seemed resigned to their fate. You know, like they were hoping it'd turn around, but as we've often learned, as I kind of told you guys in the pregame, hope isn't enough. You got to click people's heads in this game.
Well, yeah, we also talked about in the pregame how nothing has to be the one to step up. Nothing in Freakazoid really have to play to their full potential. And obviously, first map, Jordan has 5 kills. You can't win with that. Like,
yeah.
we've already established how good Virtus.Pro is at stopping the Opper. Skadoodle, you know, he didn't really have any rounds where he could get a bunch of, you know, multi-frag kills, like peeking in and out like he usually does, because Virtus.Pro, nades, smokes, mollies, flashes. So if Jordan, Shroud, Freakazoid aren't able to step it up on map 2, I can't see Cloud9 even having a chance on Cash, because we've already established as well that their CT side is weak against lesser teams, CLG. Hard time closing it out. Also, we didn't even talk about how Virtus.Pro was just kind of doing like a standard stress for most of the first half. Like, they weren't doing anything crazy. No. They were just pushing through a smoke, getting a kill, falling out, and Cloud9 just looked lost. So yeah, you know, well played by Virtus.Pro. And also, one more thing, Virtus.Pro picked Train, meaning Cloud9 had the side pick, and they opted to take T first. Not sure why they would do that.
Which, by the way, that's another reason why you can't be like, oh, they didn't know this map would be coming, etc. I'm pretty certain them picking T-side meant they knew Train was coming, and they had a sense of like, well, the reason we're picking T-side now is because we want to just execute the plan now. And so we think we're going to get the 6 to 7 rounds, and then we're going to close it out on the other half. Otherwise, if you weren't prepared for it, you'd pick CT, obviously. So I think that actually gives away their hand a little bit, what they were thinking. They just couldn't get anything going. I have to say as well, I said, like, I wanted to see how Neo's terrorist ulping would go against Skadoodle's CT ulping. We never really got to see that. Now, on CT side, Neo's ulping very solid. He didn't have to do anything exceptional, but he just got all the kills he needed to, the long-range kills. He played at range correctly. And it was a very good performance again and again. We didn't see any issue with this switch from Neo being the rifler. Pasha giving up the AWP to Neo looked absolutely fine. And at the moment, that was even better than the Na'Vi performance. VP looks in peak form right now. Now, luckily, Cash is a map that I think Cloud9 is even stronger on than Train. I think it's a map that both teams are strong on, so it's a chance. They can still potentially come up. They can make this a good game, and then we can see where we can go from there. But it's going to take a lot more fragging right now. That's one thing that has to happen. Forget the tactical side, there's got to be frags as well, because they're not getting bombs down, they're not getting kills, they're not getting into 2v3 situations. Strats will get the openings for you, but then you have to be able to do something from there. Even if they'd had the perfect strats, they would never have been able to win that game.
But there's Taz right there. There they are. You know, and speaking of these guys, what's up, buddy? You know, we talked about it when we were watching the game. The core of these, you know, Pasha, Neo, Taz, and their teams throughout the decade of Counter-Strike they played, may be the best trained team on the planet.
One of them, yeah.
And as you pointed out, Taz is playing in that inner bomb site in the exact same spot
Same
he's
position.
played for a decade. You know, obviously different engine, but still, like, very comfortable home map for these guys for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this has just always been one of the maps where there's something about the architecture of the map that just, Taz especially, has always suited. Because the thing was, Taz was a very good player towards the end of 1.6, but if you were making like your top 10 all-time individual plays, he wouldn't make the list. He wasn't that skilled. He wasn't a Markov. He wasn't a Kogu, a Fraud, and these sorts of legendary players. But he's one of those rare players who had certain spots that he is the best ever at. So there was like on top of the hut on Nuke, but one was lower, train, inner ramp. His timing of knowing when to push up and flank someone there, when they're going to come in and you hold the ramp, when you play off the ramp. He just has this really crazy intuitive sense to visualize where the enemy's going to be and how they're going to play based on what's happening in the game. Like, it's interesting that the architecture of the map has changed a lot on the outside site, so we see that's a totally different map. Inside, it's still got quite a lot that's similar, and so it fits his style of play still.
All right, well, that wraps up Train for us. Our next map is obviously Cash. It is C9's pick. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to delve into Cash, and then we'll get this match going. Here we go. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. All right, folks. Welcome back to the MLG Arena. I'm Sir Scoots, joined by Hiko and Thorin. I'm not going to say we're halfway through, Thorin. We don't know if we're halfway through. You corrected me last time I did that. Going into game 2.
We are halfway through, guys. So.
No, we are not.
I don't even mean to set you up, but I set you up. Cash. Cloud9's map.
Apparently they love it, remember? They were talking to you.
They love it. They
you
had late night romantic strat session going on in their room.
Cash.
All about the cash. And again, they've played it already several times against CLG while they're here. Let's start with you. Your initial thoughts on the map. Just remind everyone, you have picked Cloud9 2-1 to win, so you gave Virtus.Pro train.
Plus, remember, part of the reason Hiko actually left the team, not enough cash.
Not enough cash.
If they'd have focused more on the cash, he'd probably still be in the team right now. True?
Yeah, for sure.
But in reality, it was all a mirage.
It's awkward.
I have nothing to say about that. Anyway, cash. Always been a Cloud9 home map. They've always been good on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, he's just dusting off his terrible
Nice.
wordplay there.
I'm going to take you to the train yard soon.
Yeah, train your thought.
Okay, cash. Cloud9 historically good on cash. They always like playing it. They pick it at almost every tournament. Virtus.Pro, on the other hand, also picks it a lot. Historically, we see Cloud9 playing Virtus.Pro on cash, probably the most out of any other map. I think the last time they played it.
Gfinity, I think?
I think so. I think they played cash as well. So both teams are very, very. They know the map very well. Obviously, you said Cloud9 last night. We're going over cash a lot. You expect them to know exactly what Virtus.Pro does. Virtus.Pro know exactly how Cloud9 plays. And I think, on cash specifically, even more so than probably any other map, Skadoodle plays the same spot every round. He is at quad or at the fence area every single round with his op. Virtus.Pro should know that. Virtus.Pro should take advantage of that. And as we saw in Train, if they're able to do that and Jordan, Freakazoid, Shroud aren't able to step up, they're going to have a really, really hard time getting any rounds on CT. They already had a hard time against CLG yesterday with a stand-in without their normal in-game leader.
That's what they changed as well to help them beat CLG the second time. They actually sometimes took Skadoodle out of that side, even though that's his famous spot that he's so good at playing. So I want to know if the VP terrorist side starts going well, does Cloud9 change away from that again, or do they stick with that approach? Because you're actually right when you